Welcome to I Need Some Disney, the podcast where we dive into everything Disney, from the parks to the rides to the movies to the shows and everything in between. On today's episode, we're taking a look at Disney's most ambitious attraction in history, possibly, at least now, with Rise of the Resistance. We're also discussing our thoughts and feelings on Galaxy's Edge at large. May the Force be with you. My name is Blake T. Wild, and I'm joined by my co-host, Lena.
Hi.
So, on today's episode, we're discussing the very topical coverage of this 5-year-old ride called Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, also known as ROTR.
Who has ever called it ROTR?
Okay, I guess you're not in the right circles.
Maybe I am.
Clearly not if you never heard it called ROTR. That's what true Disney fanatics call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what earheads call it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, whatever they're called. So, as we established in the previous episode, you've gone to Disney a lot. I have not. So
Yes.
I have only gone on this ride once, but also you have as well.
Well, yeah.
where were you going with that?
I don't know where I was going with that.
So we rode this for the first time when we both went in October 2024. And it was the second ride I had ever gone on, the first being Big Thunder Mountain. And I love Star Wars, I think you could say that. Putting it lightly, I love Star Wars. Putting it heavily, I am very obsessed with it.
Yes.
So I was expecting quite a bit. I was very excited to experience this and Galaxy's Edge, which will probably be brought up a little bit, but it's not the main focus of this episode. Main focus of the episode is, what is it called? Rise of the Resistance.
ROTR.
ROTR. Sorry.
That sounds like you're trying to say the freaking raptor's name from freaking Rugrats.
Oh,
What was
Reptar.
it? Reptar.
I think it sounds like a transformer, like one of the dinosaur ones.
Or a transformer. It doesn't sound
ROTR. Transform
Doesn't
and
even
roar
sound
out.
Star Warsy.
Well, it's an initialism.
I know, but still.
But as we all know, of course, ROTR is not the first outing that Disney had with Star Wars. That was Star Tours in the late 80s. Did you ever go on Star Tours? How often did you go on Star Tours?
So many times. My older brother was obsessed with it. So I've been on it many, many times.
On both coasts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've also only been on it once. Same day as I went on ROTR.
Went on it. Oh, when they added the new scenes, we went on it so much. Yes,
That
because he was like, we need to see all of them.
2011, 2012-ish is when they did the digital revamp. That was the thing.
We went 2013 for his graduation, and we went on it maybe 3 to 4 times. Just to trying to get different scenes to watch, which we did see a lot.
I think that it was roughly 120-ish new scenes at that point. At this time, currently, it's about, it's over 600 options.
Oh my gosh.
Because that was, I'll bring it up when we do Star Tours eventually, because there's no way I'm not going to do it. Like I said, 2011, 2012 is when they did the revamp, because before that, it was the exact same thing since it was initiated. But then they did everything digital, and they could do far more. So that was what they had, was Star Tours. Disney licensed it from Lucas. Lucas did some other projects with them. Captain EO, that weird Michael Jackson thing. Eventually, Star Wars grew a little more at Disney. Have you ever heard of Hyperspace Hoopla?
No, but I see it in your notes.
Stop looking at my notes. Hyperspace Hoopla during Star Wars weekends at Hollywood Studios was a dance-off featuring Star Wars characters.
That sounds fun.
It was amazing, especially for me, a boy going through puberty who got to see all of the Star Wars characters that I had crushes on dancing. Because there was Padme, there was Leia, there was Ahsoka,
I need to dress up like Padme.
There was Darth Vader wore a silver Michael Jackson glove. All of my crushes were dancing to sexy songs, and it was awesome. With the sparkle glove.
With the sparkle glove.
But it was amazing. I was obsessed with it when I learned about it as a kid.
When did it end?
probably about 2012 after Disney bought Star Wars. Because here's the fun thing. Disney didn't really see Star Wars as that profitable for them because like Muppets, we established... What do you mean?
Oh, in Hollywood Studios. Where was that thing?
It was like in a big stage, like courtyard area, like an auditorium sort of like situation. But it was hosted, of course, by Snig and Oopla, which sounds like two different slurs, who were just like crazy. They look like presenters from the Hunger Games. Like I was saying, this was at a time where Disney saw no money profitability in Star Wars because, like with the Muppets we established last episode, they didn't own it, so they didn't care. The furthest they would go is Hollywood Studios, Star Wars weekends. They had a couple other events. They had the toys of like Mickey and Donald dressed as like Han Solo and Mickey as Luke. Goofy, I think, would be Chewbacca. Are you looking at the pictures?
Yeah. I definitely did
there you go, see?
this. Yeah, it looks good.
No, that's what caught my eye as a young man.
Well, yeah, Padme is wearing and Leia are basically wearing nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a big thing that ran for many years, which was just such a weird oddity because it was at a time where, like I said multiple times, Disney just did not take Star Wars seriously at all. And I kind of wish that they would bring it back occasionally because now they kind of treat it too seriously. And I think that that's to the detriment of the franchise, but that's a completely different thing. So Disney buys out Star Wars, and almost immediately they're like, we gotta make a Star Wars land. Imagineers go to work. They don't know what they're gonna be doing because development began before any finalization on the sequel trilogy. So they started off thinking, well, let's go with Tatooine or someplace that we know and people love and recognize.
Oh, they only had it in May and June. No wonder why I never saw it.
Okay. And eventually we get Battuu, we get Galaxy's Edge. I have a lot of thoughts on that, none of which are very good. On December 5th, 2019, at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Galaxy's Edge, Rise of the Resistance opened officially, and it opened a year later at Disneyland on January 17th, 2020. Everything good for Disney happens in January. Of course, the attraction received widespread acclaim for its incredible design and immersive storytelling experience. Guests were praising the seamless integration of all of the ride systems that go into this and the high level of detail throughout the entire experience. It was officially announced about 4 years prior at D23 in 2015. And, of course, Imagineers said that they aimed to create an unprecedented level of immersion, allowing guests to live their own Star Wars adventure. And it would be taking place in the middle of a climactic battle between the First Order and the Resistance. So I'm just going to sort of run down the sort of how this ride works. The queue, we waited in it when it was about 45 minutes because it was like the first thing we did in the day. Was it longer? Or was it 75 minutes?
75 minutes.
Yeah, I was right. It was 75 minutes.
It didn't feel that bad. It felt like 45.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad because, like I said, it was early in the morning, so it wasn't too bad. It moved through somewhat quickly. We were outside for most of it. Although with the extended queue, you are often in the hot sun with very minimal distractions until you get into the cavern system.
Yeah, it's a lot better once you actually get inside. Standing in that, even though it was October and yet the sun was just blaring down on us.
Yeah, the fog had dissipated and it had started getting
it got really
very
hot.
Bright. And eventually the interior queue, which is the immersive, resistance hideout quarters on Battuu, has all these props. It has Aurebesh, which is the language in Star Wars that you can translate if you're a big enough nerd. All these crates and some droid footprints. And eventually, of course, BB-8, a little animatronic, and a quote-unquote hologram of Rey herself. Which it still looks really good. Now, the ride, it is a trackless dark ride. Mm-hmm. Oh, so I guess that's two, I suppose. It's trackless, and it's a dark ride. It's also a motion simulator. It's a walk-through experience. And finally, it's a drop tower finale similar to Tower of Terror, which you didn't know until I told you a few seconds before it happened.
Yeah.
It is truly one of the most incredible rides Disney has ever done. It's It's literally the buildup of 60 years of Imagineering. Like, it's everything they've really ever done put into one ride.
It's pretty amazing. I was blown away.
It's all their cutting edge technology, from, like I said, animatronics to projections, air effects, light piping, just everything they have done has essentially built up to this.
They did a really good job with it. Like, I still couldn't process how good everything looked. Like, my brain had a very hard time telling myself this is all real. Like, you're in, like, the Star Wars world. My brain couldn't even comprehend it because it looked so good. It looked like you were in the movie.
Yeah, it's really, especially when the hangar opens up and there's the Legion of Stormtroopers.
With it being trackless makes it feel more real because obviously we weren't just going straight or, back and forward. Yeah. We were getting pulled in every single direction. So it made you feel like you were, like, truly there.
Yeah, the only issue, that's really... This is definitely probably their best trackless thing, because I think they have a trackless at either Japan or Shanghai or Beijing.
What,
Shanghai?
The Beauty and the Beast one?
No, it's a Pooh one.
Pooh one?
Yeah, Pooh was, like, their first trackless ride, I think. They have Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway, which we don't like.
It could have been better.
And then they have the Ratatouille one.
Oh, yeah, the Ratatouille one. And also the Beauty and the Beast one.
I don't know which one that is.
That's the one in Shanghai?
Oh, that's the one where he transforms?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was trackless.
I'm pretty sure it's trackless. I don't know. I could be wrong.
But this is definitely the trackless ride that they do the best. Aside from, unless you get a glimpse of the floor and you can see where the tires have, like, corroded into the ground, you kind of know what's going to happen. This ride blends just incredible storytelling with role play, kind of immersive experience for the guests.
The set is
amazing. With the sets and the actors, who I think the First Order actors, cast members, did a better job than the Resistance ones. The Resistance members were a bit more rushed, I think. Or they just weren't into it. And that's something that I bring up in the video where I was talking about is, like, is the spark still here for this Star Wars? Because, like, when it opened, everyone was like, bright suns and good moons, or whatever they say on Battuu.
Oh, yeah. There definitely was not a lot of the language. Like, that was not really there. Yeah,
and it's like, do they still have that... like that push to be like, be a true actor, you're in Star Wars, you're a resistance fighter, because, like, the person who broke us out of jail was like, come on, let's go, come on, hurry up. But
definitely, like,
the definite enhancement of the cast as the...
I don't know. We could have caught them on a bad day, because...
My favorite part was the First Order officer who was putting us in line. She was the most punk rock looking Imperial officer. She was so scary.
She terrified me. She was good.
Yeah, she was so mean.
I was scared of her.
She looked like she just came from a punk rock concert on that planet from the last film.
And wasn't she in that spot with all the stormtroopers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, people kept stopping to, like, take photos of it
she was
and everything,
screaming
and
at
she
them.
was yelling at them. I wanted to take a photo so bad, too, but then she started yelling at all of us, and I was like, oops, never mind. Not gonna take a photo.
So I'm gonna put this on play. This is a...
Oh, this is cool.
This is something somebody made. I'll try and find the link and put it in the description. It's a game you can either play or you can just sort of watch it happen. This is how the ride works.
That's cool.
It's incredible to see.
Kind of ruins it.
I think it makes it better.
I feel like it kind of ruins it.
I'm going to just put it on 2x speed so, like, you can see...
seeing where you're going.
Oh, I think it's pretty cool.
It is cool. I like how you can see the people loading in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and getting ready to go
here's
into
the caves.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's the caves. And then you had to run through all that, and then...
Yeah, so that's how the ride works.
Huh.
So here's the entrance over here, and then here's the exit.
And then...
But yeah, I highly recommend checking this out. The, I can't remember what is it, Wilby? Something, H. Wilby, I think is the guy's name. He creates these incredible looking sort of like theme park simulators.
I didn't realize that thing moved like a carousel.
Yeah, it's the same thing on Galaxy's Edge.
I was wondering how we
Smuggler's
moved.
Run. It's incredible. He has a bunch of these different rides that he makes. I highly recommend it if you're like me and interested in the more behind-the-scenes aspects of how everything works, because it's just fascinating to witness. Yeah, the carousel thing moves around and converts you between 3 different ships. I love watching these right here, the carts, because the ones that you pass that are like the villain droids at the very beginning, those are just the same carts that load in to take other people. So it's just a non-stop continuation of the little cars moving around. And it really shows just how well thought out everything about this experience is and how it works like clockwork, hopefully.
Well, it's supposed to work like clockwork.
Yeah, it's just incredible to see.
What always blew me away were the moments when you went between the
AT-ATs? Or the cannons?
Those are called. Those big thingies. Yes, those
the AT-ATs.
How was I supposed to know they're called that?
Because I thought you liked Star Wars.
They're the big, scary cannon thingies.
The AT-ATs.
Yes. That part was really cool, going through them.
Yeah, we got lucky enough to get the up section, which meant that we got to see that horrible-looking Finn animatronic, who, it kind of looks like John Boyega, but, like, you're not close enough to where it has to. It definitely looks better than the Johnny Depp animatronic on Pirates. But yeah, this is just a fun little map visual. If you're watching the video, I'll put it on there now. Again, I highly recommend you check it out. He also has Smuggler's Run, the Indiana Jones ride he did, and it's really cool just to see. Cool. It's really cool just to see how it works. The Smuggler's Run, it's like the carousel, but it's 7 different cockpits that continuously move.
I was wondering how they did that.
So anyway, yeah, it's just an incredible, just synchronized system, and just also has frequent technical breakdowns.
Well, yeah, look at it.
Such as the cannons, the infamous cannons that fire, or used to. Because as the legend goes, they occasionally would slam into the building and cause foundational structural damage. And also you have to worry about what if a cannon doesn't work properly and it slams into one of the cars.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Or, like, you get trapped in there with it or something. It cuts them off. As a lifelong Star Wars fan, you know, this ride, it was more of an experience to me than a thrill or, like, any real cohesive story. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but I honestly didn't enjoy this as much as I thought I would.
You didn't enjoy it?
No.
Well, you had your expectations too high.
I honestly liked Star Tours and Smuggler's Run more than ROTR.
What? What is wrong with you?
I did.
Why? I loved this. I was blown away.
It's an incredible technological marvel, yes, but I don't know. Something just didn't click with me the way those other ones did.
Oh, yeah, there was something lacking in the storyline. If that's what you're talking about.
That, and just something about the whole ride. Like, it was like, oh, well, this is neat what they can do, but it just feels like it's nothing really of substance.
Yeah, there wasn't much to the storyline other than you need to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I come to realize that's my issue with a lot of these more modern Disney rides, like you were talking about Tiana's, is that they want to push the guest into the story, and like, you're the character, you're the main protagonist, and
you're a part of this with us. Yeah,
and it's about you, it's about how you get through it. But I don't want that. That's why my favorite ride is Pirates of the Caribbean, because we're having a story told to us rather than that, like, that search and yearn to be the hero ourselves. I don't want to be a resistance hero, or I don't want to be Luke Skywalker.
I mean, if you think about it, technically, especially with this ride, you're actually the damsel being saved by everyone else.
That's true, but like...
You're totally screwed. If you truly were in this ride, you'd be so screwed, and everyone else is just trying to save you. Honestly, you're kind of a burden to the storyline. You're the burden, because they're all trying to save you and get you off the ship.
Well, we are, but we're still part of the resistance. We're bad at it, but we're still part of it.
Yeah, but we're like complete damsels. They're just trying to get us out of there, and they're trying to, I don't even remember, like, our droid is trying to get us out of there.
It's
in the cart.
Huh?
There was something in the cart with us. Was it?
It was a droid. It's a droid that, like, Finn or the Rebellion reprogrammed or hacked to like rescue us or something, and get us out. Fun fact, that something that I learned when doing research for Star Tours is that an early concept for it was going to have the guests be soldiers in the rebellion who were en route to a, like, training camp. And one of the characters who was going to be speaking to you was Admiral Akbar, which is just this.
Oh.
Your soldiers going to a training and getting off planet, and, well, it's not Admiral Akbar, it's one of his species.
Yeah.
Admiral Radis or something, I think his name is. The guy who talks like this.
But, I mean, I still really liked it for what it was.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing. Like I said, it's an incredible experience.
I mean, I did like that they did add us into it because it made it more like, oh my gosh, I have to get out of here or I'm gonna die. Please get me out of here or they're gonna kill us.
You wanted to marry Kylo Ren.
Well, yeah.
That's something. Let's talk about Kylo Ren and his input of this story, because I don't think it does him any favors.
Yeah, he's barely in it, and
he's an idiot. He's like he's like the fourth Stooge brother.
It doesn't make sense, yeah, because with how powerful he is, how easily we got away, like, it doesn't make sense. They should have had him getting attacked by something else.
Yes, literally, he gets hit by a girder.
Yeah, doesn't he get hit by something?
Yeah, it slams down in front of him and, like, hits him.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, whoa.
Yeah.
He looks like a Muppet.
They made Kylo look pretty stupid in this, which didn't make sense for how, like, powerful
he is. Yeah, because he shows up and he's talking to Hux, which, cool, nice to see Hux.
It's weird how, like, when we finally see him, we're like...
We sneak up behind him?
And that doesn't make sense, because he would have sensed us with the Force.
I know, it's because it makes him look like a huge idiot.
Yeah.
And something I realized putting my other video together on the experience, the whole days, is that this ride has the exact same experience as Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
What? How?
Because both of them have you come up on somebody that you sneak up on. In this, it's Kylo. In Runaway Railway, it's Daisy.
You sneak up on Daisy?
We surprise her.
Oh.
And then she turns around and she magically starts controlling our
carts
gosh, and, like, waving her hands around.
Just Daisy's making us dance.
Daisy's making us dance, and Kylo's doing the exact same thing.
But Kylo has you in a chokehold and is trying to kill you.
Does he? He's just rocking the things back and forth.
Well, he has
That's another thing, is that it's like...
I don't know.
Ignore the fact that Kylo Ren could stop a blaster bolt with the Force. Now he's having trouble pulling a droid car. Like,
I don't know. It would have made more sense if someone showed up, like Gray or something, and was, like, trying to help us get away. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, it is weird that they didn't have any Rey stuff aside from, like, her hologram. What is she doing?
She says they're like, please survive so we don't lose our numbers.
Yeah. It is funny that he's also on a stage just like Daisy.
Disney always reusing their stuff.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I know I said at the top of this that this is like 60 years of their work come together, but I don't want it like that.
It's still really impressive. I know
it is.
It's a little... There's some... Of course, there's going to be some cons, just like with everything, but I was still blown away.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's a good experience, but a good experience doesn't mean that it's a good, like, story or a good time.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I agree. Some of it was weird, but it still, like, blew me away because, everything just looked so good.
I recommend going on it at least once.
At least to experience, yeah. Definitely, but
I would sooner go on Smuggler's Run than I would this. I'd much rather go.
Smuggler's Run that much.
I had a blast. Because I got to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Well, okay, yeah, you had...
We got so lucky being pilots.
Oh my gosh, we were so happy they didn't let the kid be the pilot. We were in a group with a kid, and, like, the second I saw we were with the kid, I was like, snap, he's gonna want to be the pilot, and thankfully... He
was, like, shy and nervous?
Yeah, well, thankfully, also the cast member came up, and looked at our group and was like, okay, you're gonna be the pilot, you're gonna be the engineer, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah, we both got pilots, and then everybody else got to do the dumb jobs.
You got pilot, I got engineer, so we got
No, you were pilot.
I was engineer.
I thought,
wait. Oh, yeah, I was pilots. I forgot.
Yeah, you did the pilot part where you couldn't remember which way was up and down. Or you left and right.
Oh my gosh, Blake, how dare you bring that up? I told you I was pulling it and nothing was happening. I know which way is up and which way is down on a plane. I'm not stupid.
What about a spaceship?
really. It's the same thing.
Galaxy or Smuggler's Run is the Monopoly equivalent of a...
Yeah, that was the most frustrating thing. I would pull it and it wouldn't react. Like, I would pull it down to go up and we wouldn't go up. And I was just there like, okay.
But yeah, I know it's kind of hypocritically because you are taking part in a, Smuggler's Run is also you're the hero, kind of, but not really.
You're smuggling.
Most of the people in this ride, you're an idiot employee who got hired by Hondo Onaka. So it's not kind of the same. I mean, in ROTR, sorry, you're also an idiot. who gets kidnapped from their Uber.
Yeah, I just remembered, those other two grown adults were the engineers. Yeah. I forgot. And the kid was...
He's just sitting there. One of them was a gunner and the engineer.
Yeah, he was like a gunner, so he did like nothing. No, like the role of the gunner was weird. Like they only did one thing.
But yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you like this, honey.
What?
That I didn't enjoy ROTR as much as you, which is insane because I'm obsessed with Star Wars.
Well, like, no, like, all your reasonings make sense. I get it.
It's the same reason why I didn't like Galaxy's Edge.
It was the reason why I wasn't, like, completely blown away. Like, I didn't go out of there stargazed. I was like... Remember, we got off and I was just happy there was a water fountain. Like, it's not like...
One of the best water fountains aside from the poo water.
Dude, if you refill your water bottles in Disney, definitely refill at the end queue at Rise of the Resistance. That was the best water in the whole park except for the one in Pooh's Corner.
Yeah. I just learned that you can actually find that on the app where the water refills are.
Oh, you can? We can find it.
Also, I just learned on the app, after listening to a podcast all about the Disney app, is that they still have a smoking section available, but they have it on the list, but it doesn't pop up anywhere.
Because it doesn't exist?
Yeah, but for some reason it's still on the app list. They have the smoking section and a couple other, outdated things.
That's how you know you're not allowed to smoke there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say.
Still go on it if you can.
Yeah.
But... Like with everything, there's some cons.
I'll say this, all of Galaxy's Edge was a letdown for me. It was a disappointment.
Some of it was a disappointment. I was expecting more.
It's a shopping mall.
Yeah.
It's a shopping mall, but it's one of those big ones.
Have a lot. Like, I was expecting way more, and I was expecting to find more, limited edition park only stuff, and it felt like nothing cool. Like, I was like, why would I want this? Why would I want that? Why would I spend my money on that? I want something special. I want something unique.
I want a loath cat that breathes.
Yeah. And it just wasn't it. You know?
Like I said, I don't want to be Luke Skywalker. I don't want a lightsaber. I don't need any of all this
unless you wanted to go build a lightsaber. Yeah,
even that I don't
I didn't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either, but hey, if you do, that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you might be.
I might one day. I just can't get over the price of it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And I don't know if it looks as good as it would.
It doesn't. I was seeing some people who bought them in the parks.
Well, yeah, because it's a bundle of stuff in a bunch of tubs, pretty much, or drawers. Yeah. If I do get a lightsaber, it's going to be one of those ones from Doc Ondar's that, it's Darth Maul's lightsaber. It's Obi-Wan's lightsaber. It's a pre-established character. Ooh, I would get Balin's Skull.
Oh, him.
I would get Balin Skull's lightsaber just because I really like that character and I think he was neat and it'd be an interesting sort of item that I imagine wouldn't sell well, so it'd probably go on sale and clearance. But you want to talk about Galaxy's Edge a little bit?
Well, just like what you're saying, it was like a letdown. We walked through it and I was just like, it's cool, but at the same time it was like, this is it. It just felt, I don't know, something was off. It's,
like I said, it's a shopping mall, but it's one of those big indoor shopping malls that has, the trampoline bungee thing. So it has something exciting, but it's still just a shopping mall.
Yeah.
Its whole purpose is to get you from this shopping center to the next one to the next one. There's no benches. It's built like a shopping mall, so they don't have any place for you to stop.
Yeah. It was, you know what? The weird thing, it's actually nice. That area is nice once it gets dark. So there's something about it with all the lights.
Yeah, nice. It does have nice ambiance.
And then the only thing we really enjoyed in Galaxy's Edge was when you got that Coke bottle, the grenade. The one thing he wanted to buy there was a Coke bottle that was Star Wars themed.
Yeah, the thermal detonator soda bottles.
Yeah.
I got that, and I got a blue milk, which was delicious.
And then we found an area to sit down, which is hard to find in there, which makes it suck even more. But it was nice because while we were sitting there, like, these stormtroopers came around and were asking people for their identification, and, like, it was really cool.
These two dopey stormtroopers.
that made it worth it.
Those are the two other stooges to Kylo Ren's third.
If they had more of that, like, I mean, we saw, like, what's their face come out? Like,
we saw Chewbacca, we saw Rey,
we saw
R2D2.
R2D2.
And then when we were leaving, when we were rushing away to get our Haunted Mansion reservation, we saw Ahsoka, which was neat.
It's cool, but at the same time, I wish it was more. Like, they're not always out there.
Yeah, something that I came to realize.
And, like, they also, like, cater towards the little kids.
Yeah.
Like, they only interact with the little kids, and it's kind of like, oh, like...
It's like, I want to take a picture with Rey. Like some basement dwelling
it's
dude.
It's like you're not there, and it's just weird. It kind of feels like you're excluded.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's OGA'S Cantina, which I have a lot of thoughts on.
That was weird.
It was a big disappointment.
Well, I still like...
I like I like DJ Rex, obviously, because he's from Star Tours, and, you know, he does his spiel every once in a while. But it's just so poorly done. It's like they had the idea, like, it doesn't know what it wants to be. In the 90s, they had Islands of Adventure,
Islands of Adventure, that's Universal.
In the 90s, Disney had Pleasure Island. It was an adult club.
Oh.
It was like a dance club that you could drink at, and it was this crazy thing, and then they shut it down. But, like, that, like, it kind of seems like that's what they wanted this to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't. So I'm thinking... It
also was really small.
It's so small. And the building is so tall.
Like, they should have made it multiple levels or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is, if, like... What do they want to do with it, first of all? Because they make it seem like it has the full atmosphere of a dance club.
When I saw the images of it, I was so excited. I thought it was a dance club. And then we got in there, and I was all like, and I saw all the people standing, and then I realized they were just all around tables standing. And I was like, what is this? And then he just shoved us into the wall, into one of the booths.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you make a reservation at OGA'S Cantina, if you've never been and you're going, here's what you need to know. Make a reservation, you get sat at a booth with a bunch of random people, and you get packed in there like sardines.
Yeah.
They seat as many as you can. You have a 30 to 45 minute time period that you're allowed to be in there before they kick you out. And if you do the walk-up, then you have to stand in the main center of the bar, which honestly seems a lot cooler.
It honestly, like, I felt so left out.
Yeah.
Like, everything seemed to be happening and going on with all the people standing who didn't make a reservation.
Yeah, because nothing about it's like, it doesn't feel like a VIP experience or something, because you're sitting in the same crappy little hovel of a bar stool that Han sits in.
Well, and it makes it worse because, like, since they're constantly shuffling people in and out, we constantly had to, like, get up.
Yeah, we had to scoot over and like, let new people in.
We had to move and keep scooting, and, like... Thankfully, at one point, we got to the, like, edge, and we didn't have to move for a while, but...
And then they brought about 6 people to our table where we already had about 5.
Yeah,
5
like,
random
this
other
family
people.
Left, and then all of a sudden there were 6 people, and there was too many that,
they couldn't seat them all.
We all couldn't fit, and thankfully we were done, so we just actually stood up and were like, don't worry, guys, like, we're leaving. Yeah. But, like, the dude took forever with our check, and I was like, we need our card back. I'm not leaving without my credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, I did steal. I did steal those coasters. Yeah, so I got those too. That was my big merchandise: coasters and a grenade. What I got from Galaxy's Edge.
But it made it really such. We were already really rushed because we needed to make our reservation for Haunted Mansion. But at the same time, it ruined it constantly having to move and like try to be nice to new people. Because, like, you don't want to be that weirdo who's, like, not talking and acting like you hate everyone, but at the same time. So we constantly had to be like, oh, hi.
Yeah,
like,
that's another issue is that, like, even if you are getting along with the people, then you just gotta do the whole process over again.
Yeah, we were getting along with this one family, and then they were like, whoops, we gotta go. And then it was like, oh, trying to get along with this new group of people. Mm-hmm.
And then, like, what if they don't want to get along with you or, like, make small talk? Then you gotta deal with that.
I remember 2 of them were not happy, and I was like,
oh yeah, they were pissed about the whole reservation stuff.
didn't understand. Yeah, it was weird.
Because it was their first time there, too.
And they were like, what the hell is this? And, like, I agree, but...
Yeah, it was... So that was what I was thinking, is that if they ever redo this, which I hope to God they do, because it sucks currently, do a second story, make it, like, cut off for age group.
Actually have a dance floor.
Yeah, like, bottom floor is for family, walk-ups, whatever. Upstairs is, like, hard drinking.
Adults only dancing.
Or, here's the thing, have it Adult Swim style.
Adult Swim style? What on earth does that mean?
It's like when public pools would have cutoffs for when kids could be in there.
Oh.
So, like, have, like, after a certain time, adults 21 and up only.
That would be nice. Because, like, that also kind of ruined the vibe, too. There was, like, not judging parents, but, like, there was parents with their kids, and I don't know why, but I always feel really uncomfortable drinking in front of other people's kids. Like...
Oh, I make them watch.
Well, like, it just always makes me uncomfortable, because I feel like they're judging us or something.
The
like,
parents or the kids?
We're the parents, because we're drinking in front of their kids.
They're the one who took them to a space bar.
I know.
If anything, we should be judging
them. But at
them.
the same time, I feel like they're looking at you like, this is Disney. And it's like, well...
Yeah, that's a big thing I keep seeing online with the discussion of this, because was this the first, like, alcohol in Disney? I think it was.
No?
Like the first bar?
Oh, maybe a bar, yeah.
I don't know, but like everybody online was complaining about it. Even now I see people bitching about I see people complaining about it. I'm not supposed to swear, I'm trying not to. But that was a big ordeal. And yeah, it's just Galaxy's Edge is one big disappointment.
Yeah. And it was so sad because like it seems like it looks like it's big, like the actual layout of all the buildings and everything, and then you go in the buildings and they're so small. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what is going on here? Especially the cantina. Mm-hmm. Like, that could have been huge. They could have fit so much. I don't know if there was, like, a zoning problem or
maybe
they were just idiots and dropped the ball.
I think it's more that.
Yeah, like, they weren't... It's weird how they did not make that space bigger. Like, there was, like... Were they thinking people wouldn't want to do that? Like, of course, like, adults are going to want to enjoy that.
I think that they just wanted to get people in and out as fast as possible, and if you make it bigger, then you have to worry more.
Well, whereas... Like, the bigger it is, the more people you could hold, so you don't really have to worry
that's
about
the problem
that.
with it, corporations and executives. But yeah, it doesn't seem like they know what they want to do with that, even after, like, this long. Like, experiencing it now, like, I'm sure when it opened, it was like, oh my god, this is going to be incredible, because, like, all the concept art showed, like, aliens are going to be walking around, they're going to have droids moving around. They haven't even done that outside of R2.
Dude, a droid couldn't even fit in there.
No, I meant, like, just the whole park in general, like, the whole Battuu.
Oh, you meant the whole area.
They had those little chicken droids that we didn't see, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, even, like, it still feels like they're trying to find their footing on what the hell they want this thing to be.
I wonder how it is in Disney World.
The same, I'd imagine.
Is it the same?
It might be. I don't know. I wonder if OGA'S Cantina is bigger.
It's probably bigger.
Well, like, does it matter?
I mean,
Do 3 more booths matter?
I don't know. Not if they're doing that same system.
They are. That's how it works at both.
Never mind.
As far as I know, it works that way at both coasts. Or Battuu East and Battuu West. Or Spire
that's
Outpost.
What ruins it, because you, like you said earlier, you can only be in there for like 30 minutes. That's it.
I think it's 45.
Not even an hour. You don't even get an hour in there.
And they have...
You get rushed out of there so fast, and it kind of ruins the experience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Experience is what this whole thing is. You know what? We're going to get to it in the future, because I really want to talk about this. I kept finding myself comparing Galaxy's Edge to another franchise I adore, Cars. Because even though it's smaller and less stuff, I was way more immersed being in a world of giant car people than I was at Star Wars Land.
I feel like they did such a better job with Cars Land than they did with Galaxy's Edge.
Because they did!
They did. They truly did. Like, Cars Land is really good.
Galaxy's Edge has 2 rides. They have about 8 stores.
Mm-hmm.
And restaurants and stores, whatever. Cars Land has 3 rides, 2 of which are pretty much the same.
Yeah, kind of.
The Mater and the Luigi one.
Yeah.
And then they only have, like, maybe 4 or 5, like, buildings that you can buy stuff in. Uh-huh. But, like, it's just, it feels so much more lively, even though you're walking down with all these hundreds of people, in a way that Battuu doesn't, and I think it's because they wanted to recreate that Tatooine sort of aspect, where it's all clumped together buildings,
mm-hmm.
to the point where, like, you're just following a crowd of people through an alleyway.
Yeah, that's basically all it is.
And it's all, like, at night it looks cooler, definitely, because they have the lights and everything. And the best part, I think, is when you see the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
When you walk out into that big open area and you see it sitting there parked. Like, that's absolutely the money maker right there, the money shot, if you will. But yeah, and, you know, you get to see the X-Wing at ROTR. Mm-hmm. The X-Wing, the AT-ATs, the AT-ATs.
You got pushed through there so fast, though.
Yeah, going back to ROTR, at least when we were on it, I assume it's because we were there early in the day, maybe. Mm-hmm. So, they were they're going through people more. We got rushed through that little the little outdoor sequence, the one time you're outside during this whole ride, if you're not in the line, where Poe is getting set up to take flight, and then you board the landing ship. Like, we got pushed through there. We got pushed through the Stormtrooper army. Just hustled through these lines.
Which makes sense. They gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
It was just somewhat of a disappointment, because that seems like such a good photo op moments, and then you don't get
like, that's the one place that, like, you kind of, like, expect to, like, you know, you get to stop and pause and, like, look around at, like, all this hard work that these Imagineers have done.
And you're just pushed through it.
Yeah. Don't you dare look at that! Although, if the First Order, like, people were, like, hitting me with, like, a riding crop or something, I'd be okay with it. But, yeah, is there do you have any other thoughts on this? Like I said, I felt it was a disappointment, just like I did with all of Star Wars Land.
Yeah, I would say still experience it. It was still cool. It just definitely dropped the ball in some
I was expecting
aspects and areas.
to leave Battuu with, like, 8 different bags and a bunch of stuff that I would have bought.
I was expecting us to buy so much in there, and it was just such a disappointment.
Yeah, it's because it's tchotchkes, and it's little, like, look at this statue of the Emperor and Darth Maul, and buy their lightsabers, and I don't even know what else there was. Like, you can buy an Imperial officer's hat, but it's not the one anybody wants because it's the First Order hat. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with that, too. And just the disregard the majority of Star Wars fans online, at least, seem to have for the sequel trilogy. Mm-hmm. Like, set up a place where it's like, it's a galactic Goodwill. And then that way you can sell stuff from the original trilogy. That way you can sell stuff from the prequel trilogy. You can appease the super nerds and you can sell stuff from the Old Republic.
Yeah, if they had a lot of cool Padme stuff, I probably would have bought it.
Didn't they have something Padme related? Did they?
No.
I thought it was like a dress or a headpiece or something. Maybe not.
They had the Leia ones.
Maybe. Oh, is that what I was thinking of? Yeah, just... They need to figure out a way... Sequel trilogy's done. You don't need this stuff anymore. Get out of between episodes 8 and 9. I don't know how they would do that, especially for this. For ROTR, how the hell are they going to do that? Well, unless they just replace the armor.
I feel like they need to touch the rides, but they need to, like...
Well, what happens
rework the area.
Definitely need to rework the area, but what happens in 10 to 15 years?
Yeah, good point.
What happens when this is reaching the Star Tours? They just
change out the villain in this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, instead of Kylo,
it's gonna be Darth Madman. Sure. Darth Madman. Actually, no, that you were supposed to take a letter off from the beginning, so it'd be Darth Admin. Darth Admin.
Darth Admin. Like a terrible school principal.
Yeah. And just, give the stormtroopers a different mouth.
Give them a new helmet.
Yeah, give them a new helmet. Oh my god, the Emperor's back for the 3rd time. But, what are they gonna do? I never thought about that until just now.
I mean, let's not worry about that. That's so far in the future. I feel like they could have this ride for the next 20 years.
They are, but Disney, if I've learned anything from watching these behind-the-scenes documentaries, it's that they think far ahead.
Yeah.
Like, that Aerosmith, like we discussed last episode, the Paris one didn't come out for 5 years later, or 3 or 4 years later or something, however long it was. The pre-tape where they're in the recording booth, they filmed both of those at the same time. And they just had one sitting around. So, like, there's definitely something in store for, like, what happens when we have to move past the sequel trilogy. And I wish it was here now.
Yeah.
And I hope it's better than what we have. But I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to see this succeed, and I want to see it be even better than it can be. Or than it is right now, I suppose. I don't know, anything else?
No, that's about it.
Alright. So, as established in last episode, we're doing some trivia on the Play Disney trivia thing. We were gonna do only one episode, or one question each, but then she kept getting hers wrong, so she wound up doing, what, 2 or 3 questions?
Had it be Disney trivia on both things,
Yeah.
Okay, the first one
Alright,
makes
there you
sense,
go.
and then
So I'm going first.
Oh my gosh. Denny is Roger Rabbit's toon taxi cab friend, but who is the cab that takes guests for a spin on Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin?
Oh, come on, what the heck? Are you serious?
Is it Jenny, Lenny, Denny, or Kenny?
Are you kidding me? God damn it, what the fuck?
These are hard if you don't know.
I don't!
Okay, you gotta guess. I have a good guess.
Lenny. Yeah!
Had to guess the good one.
What are you doing?
Oh, wait, I don't know what I hit.
Alright, here's your question. What are the name of Minnie Mouse's 2 nieces?
What? Who even pays attention to their nieces?
Wow.
They're like in one movie.
Is it A,
Or cartoon.
Margaret and Minerva, B, Morgan and Molly, C, Millie and Melody, or D, Megan and Melanie?
No!
Oh my god.
It's Millie and Melody, if anyone's wondering.
They appeared in a 1962 comic book, come on.
Boy, I was born in the 90s. How was I supposed to know them?
Oh my god, you got screwed over on this trivia.
Yeah, what the flip was that? Let me go again. Let me get a different one. That was such a screw over. That was worse than yours.
Fine. What everyday items do cast members use to put the finishing touches on the Moss topiaries at Epcot during the holiday season?
What? You were laughing too. Okay, you need to calm down.
You're getting the most ridiculous questions.
What everyday items do cast members use to put the finishing touches on the Moss
topiaries
at Epcot during the holiday season? Tape, bobby pins, zip ties, or super glue? I don't know what they use.
What are you gonna go with? She went with zip ties. No, the answer is bobby pins.
Just in case you were wondering, they put bobby pins in them.
Oh my god. If you want us to keep track of the score, let me know in the comments below. So yeah, this is the ending. Thank you for listening to I Need Some Disney. Follow us on Instagram at I Need Some Disney, I think is what I called the account. What? I made an account.
Okay.
Follow me online at Smokey's Videos and at Not Blake Wild, where you can check out I make comics and videos about comics and video games and pop culture and whatnot of the sort. I've been your host, Blake.
And I'm Lena. And
we will see you next time where we break down more magic and complain about it. I don't know. I need a better outro. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to I Need Some Disney. This podcast is in no way affiliated with or endorsed by the Walt Disney Company. All opinions, facts, and fun here are our very own. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with us online. Leave any suggestions for future topics in the comments.